Nate Basili, it is great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us here in the studio. Let's head back to Washington. Let's talk to our North America correspondent, Nomia Iqbal, who is covering this for us. And Nomia, you're there at the Supreme Court. Just take a step back and explain to viewers who are joining us now what the decision has been in the last couple of hours and the way the justices have split on this.
Well, just to remind, Donald Trump faces 4 charges with the allegation ultimately that he tried to overturn Joe Biden's election victory in 2020. Now, he argued he had absolute immunity because he was just acting in his official capacity as president by challenging those results. He appealed to the Supreme Court after a lower court unanimously agreed that he did not deserve immunity. And today, the Supreme Court saved that decision right till the end. It was a blockbuster decision. It was one that everyone was waiting for. And they decided in a 6-3 ruling, a conservative majority, that Donald Trump is protected, that he does get absolute immunity for some of the things that he did in his capacity as president. So these are official acts. But there are some things that he doesn't get immunity from. It's presumed immunity, but he doesn't get it. And these are those acts that he carried out in his capacity as the candidate, the office seeker, so to speak. The issue now, however, is that this indictment, it's sort of hanging in the balance because it's now going to be kicked back down to the trial judge. And the trial judge will have to look at the indictment and work out which parts can move forward and which parts can't, based on the criteria that the Supreme Court has set. And so you have all these questions being asked, like which part, when Donald Trump spoke to Mike Pence about the Electoral College vote, is that protected by immunity? When he gave that speech outside on the Capitol on January the 6th to his supporters, does that get protection? And so this is the position that the trial judge is in right now. Remember, this trial was due to happen on March the 4th. There's no clue on when it will go forward now.
Nomia, a couple of final thoughts then. Take me through the reaction there has been both from the Trump camp and from the Biden administration, and picking up on your final thought, because so many of our different contributors over the last little while think it is extraordinarily unlikely now that this comes to trial before the presidential election.
Well, just in terms of the reaction for Donald Trump, this is seen as a victory. He has said that he's proud to be American. It's a good day for democracy. It's a good day for the Constitution. For President Biden, his campaign team has released a statement saying this does not take away what happened on January the 6th. It's worth pointing out that Donald Trump wasn't charged with any sort of insurrection. But for President Biden, I imagine that this will be an opportunity for him and his team to say this is what we were worried about, democracy being at stake. That's his whole message. Just to give you some reaction as well from Eric Holder. If you remember, he served as the Attorney General under President Barack Obama, and he has described the ruling as absurd, dangerous. He said that the Supreme Court is giving presidents free rein to commit crimes so long as they act within constitutional authority. In terms of when the trial happens, well, here's the thing. It will be looked at again, as I mentioned, by the trial judge, but Donald Trump can appeal again. And that has been the strategy he's embraced with all his criminal cases. Delay, delay, delay. And he could take it to the Supreme Court again. The Supreme Court might listen to it again. So if it does get kicked past the November election, it means the American public do not get a chance to see this trial, to sort of judge for themselves if Donald Trump did try to overthrow democracy. And if he wins the White House, he will appoint a new Justice Department, and there's every chance that he will just kill this case.
Nomia Iqbal there at the Supreme Court. Thanks very much for that.